Well, Jay, a couple things. First of all, Juan was a way better striker than Gil, but jiu-jitsu off the charts compared to Gil. Gil was very good at ground and pound, right? Like it was one of his specialties. But as a jiu-jitsu player, I don't think he was very, very good at jiu-jitsu. I'd love to see where he is now, whether he kind of gave it up and he's just pretending to be a boxing coach like Derek Azim did, or what he's doing. I have no idea. But there's Juan Diego Nunez in the middle there. I couldn't find any pictures of Juan. I think he's been out of the country for a while. I asked Juan, Jay, one time about this. Juan, since I've been out of prison this time, I said, Juan, I got to ask you. You're better at Gil at striking. You're better at Gil at grappling. What gives? Like, how do you feel about it? And he goes, Derek, all I care about is helping my other teammate. And I think that is a very, very, very together message from Juan. And I know the team rallied around him in certain situations as well. You know, as talented fighter as Juan Diego Nunez was, he had other issues that kept him from being successful in the cage. You know, I mean, I don't know how you juxtapose that, a 2-3 pro MMA record with the level of the talent the guy had, and then you compare it to Gil Melendez, who is way better than, and Gil's pound for pound top in the world, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But that is something I often bring up on this show, that, like, don't think it's the best guys physically that are winning. There's a whole bunch of other ingredients that go into that. You know, mental stability, stability as far as, what family and what life you came from, right? Juan was an immigrant from Venezuela, right? Like, had to work on even the language being here. And that can be very, very difficult. I remember reading a boxing magazine 4 decades ago. And the guy said, look, you think they're the best in the world? There's a bunch of African fighters that are just incredible, but they don't have the connections. You know, Don King and Bob Arum, who were the only factors then, weren't hunting Africa for talent to bring over. They didn't need to. They took who was best at home. It was the cheapest possible thing, and they went with it. And that was that. And fighting to this day, because it's so ephemeral, meaning you can't touch the inner qualities that make a champion, and don't. And I think I'm posting tonight a little thing on Muhammad Ali. He said, like, you need to have the skills, but more than the skills, you need the will. And that's what Gilbert had. Gilbert had indomitable will at a time when it was perfect for him, right? Like, he could push guys up against the cage with his double leg and then finish a double leg against the cage. And anybody knows takedowns, like, finishing a double leg can be tough in wrestling, like, depending how good you are, fast you are, and all that. But finishing a double leg against the cage in MMA is a whole different beast. It's a lot easier to finish that. So, yeah, man, I mean, what makes a person great or not in their careers, a lot of it is luck. And, I think Gil knows that too. And I think that's why he pushes away sometimes with certain people. Certainly why they pushed me away, or my belief. Anyway, read my book, Warrior of the Light.